I've been a Nazi as...
Oh, I can't anymore. Oh. Hi and welcome back. And welcome back to another comedy video. Or at least I think it will be a comedy video. I hope so. Actual Nazis struggling to stand out now that everybody is a Nazi. But before we go into this, please make sure if you like this content and if you want to see more of me reacting to hopefully comedy, to give a like and a subscribe, because this would help me so much. Thank you so much for that. And if you want to see more of me, check out my Patreon or my channel members. Thank you so much for that. And now let's get into it. I'm really curious what it will be. I mean, what it will be about, but how it will be made.
Hi, my name is Chuck, and I'm a Nazi. Like, actually, I'm a real card-carrying Nazi. Literally.
Wait, Chuck Nürnberg, okay.
Card-carrying Nazi. Literally. Here's my card. I've been a Nazi as...
What? Do you have an official Nazi card?
Here's my card.
Certified Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, yeah, everything right. Permit number? But, you know, for a real Nazi, this should be in German, right? Wolfenstein Lane, okay. Wolfenstein, yeah. Nürnberg, Charles, Chicago, Illinois, okay.
I've been a Nazi as long as I can remember. I believe all the standard Nazi stuff. I hate minorities and undesirables. I think Aryans should rule the world. The Third Reich.
Yes, we should, right? Damn, I will have to censor so much. Everywhere are swastikas.
Is again. All the classics. But it's not as fun to be a Nazi anymore. When they started...
It's not as fun being a Nazi anymore, and he's on a trampoline. Oh, I can't anymore. Oh.
Calling Elon Musk a Nazi and Trump and, you know, pretty much every Republican, it made it a lot harder for me to stand out. It's like I go out in public and I'm like, hey everyone, I'm a Nazi. And they're like, big deal. Everyone we don't like is a Nazi. It makes me feel less special. You know, this swastika armband, it used to mean something. Now I'm walking down the street and every Tesla has a swastika painted on it. Every Republican's garage door has one. I just can't.
This is good. This is really good. Oh my god.
Tesla has a swastika painted.
Nazi scum. Oh my god, I need to censor so much. Damn.
On it. Every Republican's garage door has one. I just can't stand out from the crowd. Nowadays, anyone who owns a Tesla is a Nazi. Anyone who voted for Trump is a Nazi. Anyone who believes in enforcing our nation's laws is a Nazi. Anyone who doesn't want to sterilize and mutilate...
I mean, that's actually a problem, right? That we overgeneralize things and then make it...
Please hit like and subscribe. It would help me so much. Thank you.
You know, make being a Nazi less harmful. Because, you know, if everybody is a Nazi, how can it be so... You know, and I know this guy that people say about that, you know, right? I know a person that... What did he say? I think that voted for Trump, then you're a Nazi, right? I think that is what he said. And he's not bad. Then being a Nazi cannot be so bad. And that is why we should really focus on actually telling people being a Nazi that are Nazis. Or are close to that, at least.
Mutilate people in bizarre medical experiments is a Nazi. Which is a real head scratcher because, honestly, we've been huge supporters of that. Mengele was a real pioneer. I'm just feeling discouraged. I used to be unique, special, different. There weren't many of us. It took real effort and commitment to be a Nazi. Now all you have to do is simply imply...
I mean, there were many of this, actually, 80 years ago.
I don't think students should be stabbed at football games or track meets and bam, instant Nazi. I used to be able to in a crowded room and really cause a scene. But now,
I mean,
anyone who's doing the wave at a baseball game or sending their heart out to you in a speech is apparently a Nazi. I guess I just want to go back to the old days when being a Nazi meant something. Because if we change the definition of Nazi to include any old Joe walking down the street, it loses its power. Because when everyone's a Nazi...
Wait, is old Joe meant for Joe Biden? Or is this an American slang saying or like idiom? Because I don't know, old Joe, I thought is lately used more for Joe Biden. But how he said it, I mean, Joe Biden was never considered a Nazi, right? I think.
Street, it loses its power. Because when everyone's a Nazi, no one is.
Great.
Elon Musk is not a Nazi. Jordan Peterson isn't a Nazi. Ben Shapiro, well, now he might be a Nazi.
But he's a Jew.
He is? Oh, I just assumed he had a bald spot he was trying to cover him on the back of his head. Okay, Ben Shapiro is not a Nazi.
Hey you! Are you enjoying these videos?
Yeah. Actually, I know in the actual definition of a Nazi, anti-Semitism is a very big thing. But for me, actually, anti-Semitism does not need to be, like, for me, a Nazi is not necessarily defined by anti-Semitism. Because, you know, for me, it's more like trying to discriminate other people, basically, trying to, you know, say that your race, your whatever is superior and basically are willing to kill other people that not need to be Jews. So I'm always thinking about when people say that. Sorry, it's now actually a bit of a serious topic, but follow me for that for a little bit. I'm thinking like, why does being a Jew exclude you from having those feelings, from being able to discriminate, to, you know, do those stuff? And you know, of course, anti-Semitism, then it will be hard if you say that this is a key aspect of today's Nazis, right? I don't mean Nazis in the past, Germans, of course. They were anti-Semitic. But I mean like today, in today's society, at least from my understanding, because how do you call people that have literally just the same ideologies but are not anti-Semitic? I don't know a word for that. So for me, it's not necessarily defined by anti-Semitism. And therefore, you can be a Jew and a Nazi at the same time. But yeah, that was an awesome video. I absolutely loved this satire. It was probably one of the best satires I've ever seen. It was absolutely amazing. And yeah, somebody of you sent me this. Thank you so much for that. If you have more like this, keep sending them, especially like comedy. I always love comedy because, you know, it lets you learn so much about yourself, but also about other things, you know, and at the same time laugh. So it's basically the best way to learn things, to see new perspectives. I love it. By the way, he also said something about Elon Musk, and we can maybe go into this. This with Elon Musk is a Nazi. I mean, would I say that he's a Nazi? Probably not. Would I say that he made this Nazi salute on purpose? Probably yes. I mean, we had a whole video about this. You can see it somewhere here or here. Especially with that he, you know, supported the very right extreme party in Germany. Actually, not only supported it, but supported it in an illegal way by making an illegal party donation, by giving them just way more coverage on Twitter than other parties, which is not allowed in Germany. Basically doing something illegal to make a very far right party with Nazi paroles and people that are actually Nazis in their party. Like, yeah, that he did this then on purpose, yes. But would I say he's a Nazi? Not from what I have seen so far. So no, I would also agree that he's not. But he made a dumb gesture. Yeah. It's the same thing. I can also, you know, insult somebody and be a nice guy normally because people make mistakes. But yeah. Okay. So I hope you liked it, and we see each other in the next video. Until then, keep liking, subscribing, and bye. Thank you so much to Todd Phillips and all of the other patrons and channel members for your support. You're awesome.